so much, sir, for joining me. I appreciate it for the opportunity, and you know that Afghanistan is in a very critical situation right now. I saw the news that you introduced a bill to the Congress, Taliban Recognition Prevention Act. First of all, tell us about this bill, what it includes, and what was the reason that you introduced such a bill to House?
Yes, the most important provision is it prevents President Biden from formally establishing and recognizing the Taliban as an official government. The reason for that is very obvious. We've just seen a major coup. We have serious concerns about human rights and many other concerns.
If we talk about UNGA, President Biden didn't ask the international community openly not to recognize the Taliban. Is it because of any agreement done, like with the Taliban, signed by the previous administration?
Well, I'm not sure I fully understood your question, but let me just say there are grave concerns with the Taliban from their behavior recently and over the many decades. And it's clear this is a government that does not have the best intentions of the Taliban people, and it's something that is of great concern to us.
So what is the implications of not recognizing the Taliban to ordinary Afghans?
Well, the implications are far greater than of the takeover than what the United States recognizes or not recognizes, right? The Taliban, the Afghan people, are in a terrible position, and particularly women. And many of us are very concerned about what will happen to the women there, their ability not just to thrive and succeed in that society, but to be persecuted as well.
Also, Afghanistan is facing economic crisis. At the same time, WHO warned that Afghanistan is in the brink of collapse of the health system, and all these achievements will be lost. What's your thoughts about it?
Well, it's very unfortunate. Certainly, there was a lot left to do in Afghanistan, but we've lost so much ground in humanitarian assistance, and once again, to bring up women, the way women are treated, for people to be governed by a government of their choice. All of those things are in peril right now.
Taliban doesn't seem to care about recognition, and they already announced their cabinet with some members which are in the US or FBI list. And some of them, they were in hiding, like Haqqanis, and now they are freely roaming in Kabul. What US and FBI has to do about it?
Well, clearly, obviously, we're very concerned about that, and for several reasons. You have to worry about how this impacts outside the borders of Afghanistan, terrorism and their support of terrorism, and once again, of great concern to the Afghan people and their safety and their well-being.
Yeah. Also, Taliban introduced an envoy to the UN for their seeking recognition by international community. Do you think it will go anywhere? It will happen? What will happen? Well,
this is exactly why this bill that I'm putting forward is needed, is to clearly make that statement that we're not going to recognize this government, that they have serious violations on so many magnitudes that would qualify them to be recognized and to sit at the table with other world leaders. And that message needs to be sent loud and clear.
In Pakistan, at the UNGA, Foreign Minister Qureshi called on the world, calling to make a roadmap for recognizing the Taliban, and at the same time, do not isolate the Taliban because it will impact the people. What's your thoughts about Pakistan's role influencing the Taliban, at least to behave or respect the women?
Well, once again, this is where the role of the United States is very important, to send this very clear message that this is not acceptable. And friends of the United States need to fall in line with us and stand firm with us. And we hope Pakistan will do that as well.
So what is the U.S. leverage left over the Taliban to make them respect women's rights and human rights and also other minorities while they're claiming that they will have an inclusive government?
Well, we have to admit we lost much of that leverage when we pulled out of Afghanistan, which is unfortunate. One of the small little levers that we have is formal recognition perhaps aid, and other things that they will desperately want recognition around the world. And we have to hang on to what few levers that we do have to have influence in that region of the world.
There was a hearing at the Senate on international terrorist groups' activities, and they are more with the Taliban takeover. And somehow it might increase, or there will be activities. Or do you think that these terrorist groups will once again use Afghanistan soil for such horrific or any terrorist attacks against the West or US?
No, I wish it was different, but every indication is yes, that we do need to worry about that. And of course, one of the great tragedies of the way that we pulled out of Afghanistan is we've lost all ability to monitor what's going on over there and have that type of influence that we've had in the past.
Yeah, I'm sure you witnessed the evacuation and all these things happen. So there are a lot of women stuck inside Afghanistan, female judges, journalists, and physicians, and a lot of them are now lost jobs and they are staying home and they don't really, somehow they don't know what's going on. Do you have any update for those women? And also with their SIVs and American citizens stuck in Afghanistan, what is the alternative for these people? What they have to do?
Yeah, this is a very sad story, and I'll be the first to acknowledge that we've left these people without a lot of hope. But I will say this, my office, and I know every member of Congress and of the Senate is working hard to do everything that we can. We receive a number of requests in my office for people looking for assistance, and it's a top priority for my office, and I'm sure it is for every member of Congress and every member of Senate to do all that we can to assist these good people.
Sounds great. So, Congressman, what's your message for Afghan people, especially Afghan women, who are watching you, that how U.S. will really back them up or take care of them?
Right. Listen, if they're listening, I hope that they know that this is one congressman that respects and appreciates the magnitude of the situation that they're facing, the difficulty of it. And I'll continue to find ways like this bill that I'm putting in and supporting my other colleagues. We're doing everything that we can to remedy the situation and give them a lifeline and give them the hope that they deserve.